Parenting with purpose begins here. Have you ever wondered why African families produce some of the most resilient, respectful, and community-driven children? Yet, they also struggle with issues like fear, low self-esteem, lack of confidence, and identity confusion. Stay with me to the end because today I will share one strategy that blends the wisdom of our ancestors with modern psychology to help you raise thriving children into this world. Now, let's talk about what traditional African parenting got right. The first is community and collective responsibility. An African proverb says, it takes a village to raise a child. Aunties, uncles, neighbors, elders, they reinforce values and discipline. Children grow up with strong sense of belonging and accountability. The second is respect for authority. Elders were honored and children learned early to respect hierarchy. This created order, discipline in homes and communities. The third is cultural anchors. Storytelling, proverbs, and rituals taught values in memorable ways. Identity was tied to heritage, language, and family traditions. Think of a child growing up in a small Cameroonian community. Almost every adult around made some kind of contribution towards raising the child. For instance, if you misbehaved, your uncle corrected you. Your neighbor reminded you of respect, and your grandmother told you a story that carried the lesson. That collective system built resilience and identity. But while African parenting got many things right, there are also some areas where it unintentionally created wounds. Let's talk about those. The number one thing we'll talk about today that traditional African parenting didn't get right is fear-based discipline. Beating and harsh punishment taught compliance, not emotional regulation. Children learned silence instead of confidence. The second is suppression of voice. Many children were told children should be seen, not heard. This stifled curiosity and critical thinking in the child. The third is comparison culture. Parents often compare their children. Look at your cousin, he's doing better. This created insecurity and identity confusion. The fourth thing traditional African parenting didn't get right is lack of individual identity and recognition. Children were expected to fit into cultural molds, not discover their uniqueness. And according to psychological principles, identity confusion leads to rebellion, even low self-esteem. I once worked with a teenager who said, I don't know who I am. I only know who my parents want me to be. That's the hidden cause of suppressing individuality. Think about it. Many of us adults, even in our 30s, 40s, 50s, are still wrestling with identity. Who we are, our purpose. This could be connected to certain traditional parenting practices. So what is a parenting crisis today? Modern African parents are caught between tradition and modernity. Globalization and social media are shifting values, challenging old systems. Children now ask questions, challenge authority, and demand clarity. The crisis: parents still use old parenting methods for new realities. So how do we honor the strength of traditional parenting practices while fixing what didn't work? Let's explore those strategies. The number one strategy is to preserve the strengths of our traditional parenting practices, such as community and belonging, respect and discipline. The second strategy is to integrate modern parenting practices. These include things like encouraging self-expression, where children are allowed to ask questions, share opinions, and explore talents. This nurtures individuality alongside communal identity. The third strategy is teaching emotional intelligence, where children are taught to name, process, and manage their emotions, something that traditional parenting often overlooked. The sixth and final strategy is modeling identity and purpose by sharing your own journey of identity and purpose with your children. This models reflection and growth. Parenting is not about fear, it's about guiding with clarity, love, and identity. So what's the impact of identity-based parenting? Children raised with identity grow into confident, thriving adults. They respect authority without fear. They carry cultural pride while adapting to modern realities. Family identity becomes a legacy passed down to generations. I remember a father who introduced a family charter, and this helped his children learn about their family values, their responsibilities, their heritage, and it helped them not to feel lost at any point. That's the power of identity. So here's the truth. Our traditional African parenting got many things right: community, respect, and cultural anchors. But it also got some things wrong, such as fear, suppression, and comparison. The challenge for us today is to keep the strength, fix the weaknesses, and raise children who thrive with confidence and authority and even clarity. This week, choose one strategy. Maybe encouraging self-expression, maybe teaching emotional intelligence, and practice it. Remember, parenting is not about perfection. It's about influence, identity, and legacy. And together, we can raise a generation of thriving African children who know who they are and where they are going. You've got this, and I'm rooting for you. See you in our next video. Bye.